Hey, what's up everyone? How you doing? In this video, I wanted to check out Volgarr the Viking. This is for the Dreamcast. This is a fairly new game for the Dreamcast, and it's been out for several years, I believe. But I got this from Video Games New York. I'll put a link to their website below. This is produced by Josh Prod, and I love the fact that they're still making new games for the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast is one of my favorite systems of all time. It's crazy to think that it came out, 22 years ago, and it's still really holds up really well, which is awesome. And this game itself is cool because it's a platformer, and this game is super hard. Volgarr is super hard. And here's a disc here, awesome. And then you can see the attention to detail they put in the casing and all that good stuff. But yeah, this game is crazy hard. I mean, it took me, gosh, probably an hour to get like maybe 10 minutes into the game, right? I mean, once you get it, you kind of understand the patterns and makes it a little bit easier. But when you go right into it, it dives right into the difficulty, and it's what I call retro hard, right? And what's awesome about this game too is not only available on Dreamcast, but it's also available on Steam, and I believe it's on the Switch as well. So it's cool for some modern consoles. But I think this game, I mean, it's 16 kind of bit. I think it plays fantastic on the Dreamcast, honestly. So I'm going to show you some gameplay and let you guys know what I think at the end. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Leave a comment below, and we'll go from there. Thanks. Bye. Here it is, Volgarr the Viking. It's programmed by Crazy Viking Studios. I'm not quite sure other games they've worked on, but this game is awesome in the sense that it's a retro-style game played on a retro console, although it makes me feel old calling the Dreamcast a retro console now. And I do want to apologize. I am playing this obviously on the Dreamcast, and it's through RCA cables. I do have an adapter for HDMI, so I can capture it. However, capture quality is not great, so I do apologize for that. It kind of appeared kind of dark. The game doesn't usually play this dark. But you can kind of definitely get the idea. And the first thing that popped out to me about this game is the music is awesome. It's got orchestrated music, really fits the theme of the game. There are two different attacks. You have your melee attack with a sword. You also have a spear. You can throw either by hitting up an attack, or there's another action button to use that. You have a roll. You cannot attack up, which can kind of get frustrating sometimes when there's enemies flying above you. That's a crystal. That's a safe spot. I noticed there aren't very many safe spots in the game either, and if you die, you get unlimited lives, but you start at the previous save spot. You'll notice that you'll get gems when you kill these enemies, and it doesn't really show you how many gems you have. There's no HUD screen. There's no health screen. You basically get hit twice, and you're done, right? You get hit once with a shield, you get hit, you lose it. Now, there are upgrades in the game as well. You can see here I have an upgrade, and various upgrades include like a special spear that's on fire, for example, better attack. One thing that's pretty cool about this game as well is there's parts of the game where you can actually zoom out. You can zoom out any part of the game, but definitely comes in helpful. I think that's really cool. You can kind of scale the screen, kind of see a little bit more of it. And just even though the game's super hard, the game is a lot of fun, right? And it's pretty gory as well. You can see here's a chest. There is an upgrade here as well. And I love the subtle things in the background. I love the statue, for example, there you see. One thing I did notice, though, if you get too close to the edge, to the wall, and you try to double jump over it, it can kind of get kind of tricky to try to jump over it. So you kind of have to time your jumping and your distance if you're jumping properly, if that makes sense. There are 40 different enemies in the game, and there are 7 different worlds in the game. So it took me a while to get past the first world alone. It was fairly short, being the first world, but it took me a while because the difficulty, it does just kind of throw you in to the game, for sure. But I love that you can just throw these spears and jump on them, which is awesome. It kind of reminds me of a game that you definitely would play, like maybe during on the PlayStation, games like that. And I think it's a lot of fun. The Parallax Scrolling is also really cool too in some parts of the game as well. Man, the enemies just are relentless. They just come right after you. And the blue enemies take 2 hits as well. You can see there's different achievements in the game too. I love this Power of Grayskull. I love that. Obviously a shout out to He-Man. But they have kept the achievements in the game, which is cool because, like I mentioned before, this game is on Steam and other platforms. So I think that's really kind of fun. I'm not sure if it saves really into the Dreamcast, to be honest, but very cool that they've actually included that. This is the second stage, and you can see it's all about timing here with the arrows. There's another upgrade I got. There's a fire throw I got. You can see it's kind of dark to see those platforms. At least the capture is not normally dark when you normally play it. Overall, I do recommend Volgarr the Viking. It's a lot of fun. If you like difficult games, like old school difficulty, this is definitely one to check out. It's like Ghosts and Goblins hard, in my opinion. But once you figure it out, it's games like that are kind of rewarding. That I feel are worth it, right, to play. You have to be patient with it for sure. But I think the music really fits. I love the theme. I think the controls overall are pretty solid. It's definitely a game to check out for the Dreamcast if you have one. If you don't have a Dreamcast, pick it up for another platform. I got this at Video Games New York. I'll put a link to their website below. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you for subscribing. Let me know what you guys think. We'll see you guys soon. Take care and game on.